So in this video, I'm going to show you simple ways to make YouTube videos without a camera or expensive equipment. Because I know a lot of people are put off by doing video marketing and putting videos up on YouTube because they think that they need a whole bunch of expensive equipment. They need lights and cameras and microphones and that sort of stuff. And that's true. But a lot of the time you can get away with doing it without lights. If you just go out in the sun, that's one way. Use daylight and use your phone. So basically, in a minute, I'm going to take you through some very simple ways to use stuff that you probably already have, to use equipment that you've already got to create amazing YouTube videos that are engaging and will generate traffic for you and hopefully sales or whatever that you want to do, whatever purpose that you're building that YouTube video for. You can do it very, very cost effectively without going out and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So hang on, I'm just going to jump over to my computer and I'll walk you through. Okay, so let's look at some ways that you can make videos without a camera or expensive equipment. Now, obviously, you need some equipment. You just can't pull videos out of thin air. So you do need something, but generally speaking, most people have got some sort of equipment in their home or at their office, or maybe a family member that they can actually use. Now, let's start with the very basics. Now, you may not have a video camera or that sort of stuff, but chances are you've got a mobile phone, right? Or a cell phone. So that's one way that you can make videos without an expensive camera. And I'm going to be making a video later in this series specifically about the do's and don'ts of making videos with phones, because they've got their own issues. Obviously, they're very portable and they're great, but there are things that if you don't do right, like your videos can be all shaky and the audio can be really bad. So I'm going to dedicate an entire video on simple do's and don'ts. Once again, it's not rocket science, it's not hard. It's just having that awareness of, oh, okay, so that's why that happens, or I should avoid this, to make sure that you can create amazing, stunning videos from your phone. Now, I want to tell you a little story first, just to really drum this point home. My first sort of real video that I created for public display was shot on an Samsung S2. I've still got the phone. There it is there, right? There is the infamous Samsung S2. I still have it. And it sort of goes back to 2011, 2012. And seriously, this is all I had. I didn't have lights. I didn't have a tripod. I had nothing. I had a phone and a message, a very important message, something that was very dear to my heart. And so I was determined to get this message out. Now, at that time, I was working as a therapist in elite sport, and I did specialised dry needling. We use acupuncture needles. So I had a little clinic room set up at home as well, because some people come and saw me after hours. And in that clinic room, I had a massage table and some other bits and pieces. And I also had what we call a sharps container, you know, the yellow containers that we discard the acupuncture needles into safely. So what did I do? I got some tape and I taped my phone to the sharps container, so it would be held nice and firm, so it wasn't shaking around in my hand. And then I moved my massage table over to a window and opened up the curtains, and I just sort of adjusted the curtains so the light was good, but it wasn't blinding and it wasn't too bright. And then I hit the record button. So there I was sitting on a chair with my massage table pushed up to a window, with the curtains adjusted for the right amount of light, my phone taped to a sharps container sitting on the massage table, and away I went. And I recorded my first video. And was it great? Absolutely not. It was absolutely terrible. And maybe one day, I've still got it. I've got it hidden on Vimeo. And maybe one day I might pull it out of the archives just to give you all inspiration about, we all start at the same place. We all start in exactly the same place. I was so nervous on camera for so long. And it's only sort of probably been in recent times, probably in the last 3 years, that I've really started to feel comfortable in front of camera. Okay, but for a number of those years, I would just break out in a sweat and I would just be a mess and I couldn't remember what I was going to say. And I tried all sorts of things. I tried scripts and I tried teleprompters and I tried this and I tried that. it's just practice, okay? So that's one way, right? That's one way. Now, let's talk about another method. What about sharing your screen? So even if you don't have a webcam, you can actually do screen share. And you don't even need to buy software. Like, there is software out there called Camtasia for PCs and Macs, and there's ScreenFlow. There's a number of editing programs out there that let you record the screen, but then they've actually got editing functions inside where you can trim the beginning and the end, and you can put overlays and graphics and titles and that sort of stuff on. You don't have to really worry about that. Like, you can do that, but it's not required. But if you don't have software, then you can't trim. But there will be free. I'm just going to pop across over here. I've just Googled free video editing software. So whether you're on a PC or a Mac, I believe there are a couple of tools that come free on a Mac. I've actually got a Mac, but I've never used those specific tools. I think one's called iMovie, and another one might be QuickTime or something. And I believe that those two actually let you do some basic editing, like trim the ends and that sort of stuff, and they come free on the Mac. There are some, as you can see here, there are some free options for the PC as well. I can't tell you which ones to use, which ones not to use, because frankly, I don't use that sort of software. But if that's something that you're looking for, then you can go out there, maybe look at some reviews, ask some friends, and that's the way that, because you still need to trim the beginnings and the ends of your videos. So what can you do with SlideShare? As I said, you've got this paid software, but you've also got something called Zoom, okay? And funny enough, that's it. Even though I've got Camtasia and I've got all this other software, I'm actually using Zoom to record this video, okay? Zoom is free, and you just start a meeting, and it will hook in. It will recognize your webcam if you've got one. And then you just hit the record button, and it will record whatever's happening on your screen, okay? So now you can create a video, now maybe using your computer's inbuilt microphone, maybe not ideal, but once again, there are very affordable microphones you can buy for as cheap as $20 that will work quite well and do the job. Will it be brilliant audio? Probably not. Even the Logitech headphone with the mic, they cost about $30, and they give a good audio. The audio that they produce is passable. Okay, like, it's not bad. There's something called it's not like the Blue Yeti is about $150, but there's a mini version, I think might be called a Snowball or something, for $50. So once again, these aren't huge investments. And if you are looking at doing a lot of video from your desktop, then that's quite good. I'm actually wearing a lapel mic at the moment, and that's actually plugged into another. This is actually a Samsung S4. So I just hold on to all my old phones, and I update my phones every 2 years, and I hold on to them because they all come in handy. So I'm using the lapel mic here because this is the lapel mic that I use when I'm in front of camera. And so just to keep the audio consistent from being in front of camera to coming onto the PC, I'm doing this. Otherwise, over here, I've got a studio mic. So this is the Rode NT. This is a USB mic. So basically it plugs straight into your computer. Once again, it's around about the $100 mark. But once again, only good if you're doing PC-based stuff. Like, I do a lot of online courses and a lot of streaming. I do a lot of video work, Zoom calls, interviews, and that sort of stuff, where I'm using this mic a lot. So it's worth it. If you're not using, if you're not doing that type of stuff a lot, then maybe there are other options. Just have a look. But you don't need an expensive mic. Even going out and getting a Logitech headset mic will do the job quite well. I've even been told that the iPhone earbuds, the earpods, the mic on that works really well. So if you've got like a MacBook, so it depends on what sort of equipment you have, you can plug the iPhone stuff into that, and you can use that mic, and apparently that works really well. So the point is that you can do a lot. So you can record your screen, What are you going to record? Well, once again, you can go through software or you can go through screens, explain stuff. You can make up slides. So you can come to Google Slides and you can create a slideshow and then record that slideshow and go through it. Now, whether you want to talk, you may not want to talk, you can even put music behind it. So that's another way. And of course, yet another way is to just bring up a Google Doc. Many people do stuff just having a Google Doc on their screen as they're recording it, and they write down the point and then they talk about it. So there's many ways that you can create a really good video, informative, entertaining, educational, useful, without spending thousands of dollars on equipment, and also without having a camera. Like, you could do this without a camera, you could do this without a webcam. So there's that. And then of course, when you come to YouTube, let me get this out of the way. YouTube has I was sure at one stage YouTube had an editor where you could actually do some video editing inside YouTube, but I haven't been able to find it. But what I want to show you here is free music, because you always got to be very careful, excuse me, about the music that you put on behind your videos, because sometimes even when you purchase music from somewhere, the person who's created that music lets you use their music, but then they put a copyright claim on it, then you can't monetize it. Or you might just get hit with the copyright claim and they won't show your videos. So just be very careful. I use a service called Envato, and when I download an audio from there, it will actually pop up and say the creator of this has got a copyright claim, and I've actually got to download a license. And then if YouTube then flag my video and say there's a copyright claim on this, I can actually then forward my license to YouTube to show them that I'm licensed to use it. What a hassle. Okay, so what you can do is you can come into the audio library inside of YouTube itself. I like to filter on attribution not required, because some of this is still attribution is required, which means that you've got to give credit in your videos somewhere for the creator of the music. I don't want to, if I'm just doing videos, I don't want to think about giving attribution. I'd like to give credit where credit's due, but I just, sometimes it can sort of take it, like if you're doing a video, a marketing video, and then at the end you go, oh, music by such and such, right? You can do it, but I go attribution not required, and then what is left is the stuff that you can use without Google hitting you for a copyright slap, and without you having to give attribution to the creator. And then you can then search by genre or by mood, by artist name or duration, and you can pick out all these different music tracks and add them to your video. Now, if you're going to add music to video, then you're going to need some sort of video editing software. But once again, you could most probably find that on the internet somewhere. You can always find free versions of stuff. Even with a lot of the paid options, you can get a 30-day free trial. I know for a long time I almost created an entire course on a 30-day free trial. I actually did end up buying the software. That was Camtasia, but Camtasia came with a 30-day free trial. I got it back in 2013 or something or other, and I basically created a full course. But I bought the software. So it's good to be able to get these things, download them, have a play, and that sort of stuff. And there's other tools as well. So there are just a couple of ways that you can create videos without a camera and without expensive equipment and still end up with a great result. So let me know what you've done. Have you tried making videos in the past? What stopped you? What's worked for you? What hasn't worked for you? I'd love to hear from you. Please put those in the comments below. If you found this useful, give it a like, and also hit the subscribe button and the little bell and be notified when I put out a new video. Now, I'm putting out a new video again tomorrow. This one's all about being camera shy and how can you create videos without appearing on camera at all. I've given you some sort of options here, but obviously some of the options did require you being on camera. But if you don't want to put your face on camera at all, then I've got some options for you in the next videos. So stay tuned for that. Okay, guys, I hope you found that interesting. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you next time.